I can't feel, can't see, can't, I won't, not anymore.
Do you not care?
No, no, of course I do. I just, why? Look, my tears, they still exist?
It's a blessing.
How? May I, too? Please, let me express again.
I'll do better.
I took it for granted. I need to. I know now. I have to relate. Feel like I'm living. I cannot withhold this power from confusion. I will have everything I once had because I am a human. I am mortal. I do die. I do leave. So I need to wear my emotions on my skin to show everyone that I too am experiencing life. And cherishing it. I'm with myself again, but I'm not reflecting. No, I'm laughing. I lean back onto the soft fabric and look off to the horizon. The sky pushes down a gradient, charming me with its tangerine blue. My left hand grasps a refreshing drink, condensation dripping onto my knuckles. If I could, I'd flap cohesive feathers into the vast ocean, be a winged being that strives for the moon. The smile stays on my face, but isn't forced. No, it exudes relief. If only this could be forever. If only life could be heaven, and heaven merely another story. I chuckle at the thought and rise out of my relaxation. I want to run. I want to frolic. What is this feeling? It doesn't leave. The feeling that I was destined for greatness. Aspirations elongating my reach. Soon I will achieve wonders. I burst in happiness with all this energy manifested. I just can't believe it. This surge of dopamine. Thoughts racing in my head. Which will win my focus? The outer world starts dreaming, but I am still awake as daylight. Give me something to do. I want to do everything. I don't get up. I'm blanketed by my mistakes. I want to close my eyes, drown in a serenity. I can't. It just won't come. The dreary atmosphere intensifies. Any pleasures escape my mind. I stay still, like a corpse put to bed. My dried tears ache for removal. I don't care. I'm ashamed. I'm miserable. I want to put the blame on me. I won't. That's why mucus clogs my nose. The shame of it all. You have trouble admitting your faults. No, because it's not mine. The tug of war continues while my physical body pains from stillness. I can't put the blame on me. How could you say that to her? Why is she crying in the room next to mine? Was I acting in retaliation? Do you think this is a game? Are you not petty, weak, disrespectful? I am. I am? Why can't I change? I sink into the mattress. May I become embedded? Turn into a soulless fossil? I hear hear my door open, and it mutes my upcoming sob. I hear her trying to get her words out.
Dinner's ready.
I hear through stuttered speech. I start to snore, even if my eyes don't close. She shuts the door, and the rain starts again. It floods my eyes, a chill growing. I heard it, the pain in her voice. I want to aid her, help her. I love her, but I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Tired of everything. But who isn't? It's fine. It's alright. Tomorrow will be another day. But today, I will torture myself and stay like this. Until I wake up, that is. And have the courage to apologize and make up. I take an unsuccessful deep breath. I lied. I pulled a blanket over my head. 8 hours till reset. I grip a plate in my hands. Its glossy surface sticks to my fingers. I threaten its undeserved peace. But I don't move. I'm still with a frown. It isn't worth shattering $10. I'm spitting out punches. I regret it immediately. Eyebrows furrow, lips curve down, wrinkles stain my forehead forever. Fingers pointed, but what's the point? I don't know. It was buried by endless insults. Nonchalant, could never be me. I still dream of it. Sitting on a couch reading, page after page, I ignore the overheated battery and keep my composure on the sudden plot twist that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. I snap out of the memory, still in a chair. A pair of glasses watch me as I vent. I think that I'm unserious, the lens never changing even with the light disappearing. Where is your rage? It's not rational, it's arsenal. Chaotic brain waves initiate fidgets and twitches. Now I'm sat on the ground wondering, when did it all go wrong? Was it the freedom given yesterday? Tomorrow's words and actions will still maim me. Easily offended, will that become my personality? I was sweating from the heat, emanating from my inner vigilante, losing a battle, ready to fight, threw glass splinters at the ground. Their jokes were killed, their smile disappeared. They realized there were no rules. Give me nonsense, nonsense gives back. The earplugs aren't enough to sustain sanity. Not my fault. Funny, I used to cry. Now my fists ready for another wall. When it was time for me to release anarchy, I pleaded and gripped my hand. Me didn't listen. Wake. Brush. Eat. Go. Repeat. Rise. Groom. Taste. Depart. Repeat. Drowsy. Tangled. Poison. Stay. Repeat. Jolt. Scratch. Devour. Slam. Repeat. Cycling again and 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 again. Up. Hair. Breakfast. Outside. Stop. And breathe.
It doesn't have to be this way.
It wanted to play with me, so it said, I stand still, shocked and confused when I dash away, heart pounding in my chest. I choose a house far away to cover my presence. It gets to work, then starts the search. I, a veteran, still not satisfied. The shack underneath the deck is unlocked. I run in and slam the door shut. Why would I do that? Footsteps come pounding my way. I can barely breathe and my eyes can't see. I want to vomit and I think I'm getting a headache. My legs tighten up, causing me to shrivel up in the corner. I'm holding the drill. The grass gives way to unnatural footsteps that find me in my teary eyes. I can't move. I know the end is near. The only thing to do, surrender. Can you see it? They waltz on the dance floor. A harmonic coexistence, a flurry of chaotic mixing. It's mesmerizing. The colors fill my eyes, citrine, sapphire, ruby, amethyst, all shining like bright lights, not muddied by an unsuccessful attempt at teamwork. But something's missing. The echo isn't full. The dust from old shoes covers only a section of the stage. You didn't invite them. Not well known enough, their prestige denied by the public eye. You acted on that elitist attitude and cleared the floor of minors. I stare at the window. It frosts up and I wipe it again. I need to see. I need to feel what it could have been. In that warm embrace, acknowledged. Every window is covered by the darkness, contributed by the endless shadows of deserters. Every entry sealed shut by ignorance and dismissal. I don't understand exposing one's vulnerability. Would you choose to identify confusion with fear? Unsurprisingly, it's not enough. We could have helped you fill the definition in the suffocating room. We could have helped you rejoice a little more. Cultivation of negative emotions for everyone. This was what consequence brought you. You with our eyes on you. Disgust. If only you would have invited her in. talked to her like a person, smiled and dispelled her abilities. We on the other side are freezing in our suits and gowns. We were ready. We held our flowers and crushed them in anticipation. This was eternal, stuck in this patronizing moment. You could have left us home to play with our toys, but we're stranded. I must admit, I am one of them. Deprived of attention, angered at negligence. Surprise next to me, tranquility on the other side. Do you not find it boring? The ballroom filled with only 4 emotions. I would. So after our patience ran out, we decided, we shall have our own ball out in the snow. We shall have no regret, and we shall not need you, for we have all that you have and what you do not. A house spider I caught, wriggling against the glass. Fired by God, unable to control the fly mass. Chicken carcasses filling steel walls with death traps. Despising mortality, trying to breathe through the crowded gaps. Teeth of acrylic resin left out has the aura of a dried along. Left in makes for strong chompers and an artificial smile guarding the tongue. A portable urinal brought on car rides and campouts prevents the deterrence of necessary routes. Feces swimming in a toilet bowl, the cause of another soul, an inconsiderate mole. I hear the lever being pushed to the death of an unlucky soul on train tracks. Respect for overcoming one's fears and acting on the mindset addictive bystanders lack. All avoided by disgusted people. Maybe we underestimate the profession, each a purpose in this world, to teach us a strict lesson. I look on the counter. Goosebumps harass my skin. There's mold on a plum. Truly despicable. A knocking is set upon the door. I shudder. I open it and get attacked with color. Enter and see the words "Happy Birthday." I'm stunned with utter confusion. A sugary pastry to poison the wise. They start to celebrate. I stumble in head full of nausea. They gasp and stare pale-faced. I'm on the ground, head throbbing from pain, like a balloon deprived of helium. I wake up, put in bed by the worried crowd. Only my bearer of bad news remains. I believe to have disappointed everyone. I chuckle. It's the best birthday ever. Is this cake expired? A breeze curls in my lungs. Looking up, I see a beautifully blue sky. My body sinks into the soil mattress and its grass topper, and my ears hear birds sing a delicate tune. The sky will eat the birds. It has no mercy and will rain down hard. But I know they will fly through the squall. They'll continue through hail and thunder. They'll find a hiding place and hold on for dear life. I close my eyes and breathe in the fortunate air. It must be nice for them to have a break and enjoy the radiance of the golden light. We will eat the birds. We take bites with our power lines, our windows, and our shotguns. I want to cry for them. I know they'll soon get eaten. But I know they will soon adapt to the pressures. Clip a few wings, they grow stronger. Shocked by a power surge, they'll find another place. The birds will get eaten, no question. But they will have soared thousands of miles and put on a grand spectacle for us before their fall from grace.
What makes a human human is not humanity. Evil runs rampant in that world. My brain is the same as theirs. Why would they dare to call me alien? What makes them so goddamn different?
I am empathetic of your desperation. It feels like an illegal ostracism.
Is it because of this thing called emotion? It seems like uncontrollable naivety. They do not say a single thing. They always exclaim, cry, yell, shout, murmur, blurt, whisper. It is such a funny spectacle.
It is vulnerability that we cherish, to feel connected through bliss and anguish.
I just don't understand it, the secret of souls. Is it in the heart? Something that pumps lifeblood? Is it something that exists beyond all? Never able to be touched, I want to feel it there. I want to understand. Grant me a soul.
I've been where you've been before, begging for a soul, but the soul is a feeling, not knowledge. Nothing to understand. I'm afraid to say, but you have to rely on nothing. Only your body and brain to react. A connection shared across time and space, sometimes severed by a sharp dagger. But most of the time, programmed instinctively. I'm sorry, but I can't hand over a soul to you. There's only one for everyone. You can't get rid of it. You have to live with it. It's a predetermined parasitic bond, so when the smell of fire rings your nose so sharp, it can escape the body it stole from. Culminating experiences into an imaginary concept. Hard, it seems. You can't feel emotions if you don't have them. Can't feel if you have a soul. All to rely on is the reaping when it reveals the truth to you if you're tethered to your body or free.
You've seen the pathetic display of emotions by that weak angel. Well, how about now? I show you what I see.
The quiet surges and swells out of silos, bombs of death over straits. Man-made asteroids to execute billions in rows. On the hill I wait. The distant past, another if they sat, would hear the sound of bullets, shocking the air, laying down a mat of bodies for a king to rule it. Territorial gains, the enslavement of a race, sad excuses not worth fighting over. Millions of pawns get hit by an unrelenting mace, like blades of grass to a lawnmower. The small world wasn't built for the spirit-shattering wars. It bleeds and hurts, then dies. Is it in our nature, our craving for more, or is it something we shield with lies? I heard tell of a lover of combat, someone who'd longed for action. Tired of his family and house where he's at, blown up by an overreaction. I heard his wife hated the unpredictable skirmishes, knocks upon the front door scare her. Lethal machine guns fire while she does the dishes. In the night embodies a widowed crier. Looking up, I see colors burst in the sky. I wonder why I have to lose everything. The future is death. A missile flies by. I don't think I can do anything. Doorways blocked by spotters, yelling to get away from the doctors. Illness not severe, it seems, never will, fate deems. Gravely endangered, the scared man loiters. He collapses on the rough asphalt. Used to feel young, naiveness at fault. Running away from the difficult, trying risks in a cult. Sleeping in dirty houses, eating salt. Drinking murdered his only livers, rushing ahead only to plead to givers. Every bill wasted, acting quite elated, made his bed rest a boat down turbulent rivers. Sleeping brings no peace, only regrets, urges to survive, promises large debts. Can't be a burden, keep it stoic like a warden, stop that incessant complaining, you can't leave yet. Living in pain, she stares off into the distance, ignorant to the greed, back to her fake residence. Vagrant like health, emotions cured only by wealth, sobbing, the tears smear and blurry her ailments. Scared at the idea of a premature death, anything she could do just for another warm breath. Varying the plan, edge of the cliff where she ran, determined to ingest 100 more grams of meth. Never thought she'd finally meet a white coat. Eyes so strict as they analyze the note. Emergency only, disease so lonely, stomach pumped, getting rid of the protective moat. Magic costs so much that it curses her with a bill. Other problems not cured, start riding a desperate will. Nothing left, emptied by theft, yelling at the world, causing an unnecessary kill. As they beat the taboo drums violently, we scream from the oppression that it brings. A slurry of cement rains rapidly because we have unique but now torn wings. They still exist within the modern world, the inhumane attackers uncontrite. They kill, enslave, and trade, 3 sins unfurled. The hypocrites scare criminals with might. Corruption thrives within this courtroom air, invisible offenders safe from blame. Take bribes and sides, the gavel isn't fair, suspicion ruins innocence, pure fame. I want to hope for better days ahead. All we can do is try before we're dead. The birth of the digital presence gives rise to a newborn essence. Everything online, more vulnerable to viruses, everything at risk. Afraid, firewall weak, cybersecurity, should beware the skillful hackers, worry. Phishing for data, ruining reputations, ransomware attacks, economic disruption, prosperity unstable. Revealed, your every move. Targeted ads as well help cyber terrorists control the world. Enter the dark web, expose the unethical, fraudulent players. Each technological advancement we get, the world faces another threat. Gluttons, feast your eyes on Father Pobulum's refreshing dishes. Rejoice, the nourishment that fills your stomachs taken for granted. Is it worth it? The excessive meals to fulfill lavish wishes. All the fancy drinks replenishing their blood that end up wasted. Mother Aqua would be furious to hear of these transgressions. Kings and princes take the reservoirs, but not believe it's sated. Rare commodities, exclusively existing in delusions. No more love to share. Disgust is rampant in the filthy trash streets. See our luckiness, this banquet table master of food fusions. Hedonistic wear. You're absolutely jealous of our big feats. Under several golden showers, skin glows like the precious bright sun. Claws out, tearing off the fur and bones from rich, delectable meats. Can't hear growls from stomachs, hungry, thirsty bullets sprayed from the gun. Bittersweet tastes lovely when you're not the ravenous to feel done. Tending to the wounds of a broken world will never heal it. It has already perished a long time ago. Now decorated with scars, just smiling a broken arch at you. And since the only way to solve a conflict is to cut the venomous root at its source, bits of cowardly fertilizer can never help the grass peek out of the rubble. Devastated and destroyed. They were the twins that birthed from Mother Nature's womb, foretold to have the capability to ruin her. That is exactly what humanity did. We'd too much power, content to disrupt the state of tranquility, but enraged by those who wanted more. We looked at the natural like another minority to conquer, to win the game of natural selection and prove our dominance overall. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. Especially when it is your brothers and sisters that disintegrate when you chop the sturdy trunks. Those who lose their homes leave. Those who leave are shot with lies. Without the suppliers, how are you to enjoy ordinary life? Without your clothes, without satisfying your primal carnivore. It's a surplus of irony that we then attack the ground. We curse it for raising us, for being vegetative. So we burn the forests and pollute the source of our breaths. Up to the next generation to solve, not ours. Let the plague take over and rip all the plants like a pack of rabid dogs. It's thirsty for the essence of life. The world develops a malnourished hue, only solidifying when the parasite realizes its grave mistake. Ancient tales have become wondrous dreamscapes. The only thing to reduce the feelings of fatality is to escape. Escape into our minds and into those passed down stories, words that come from a greener place. Maybe in those dreams we try to warn our predecessors to be just a little less wasteful, a little less selfish, to make it a little bit more livable for we in the future. But dreams only exist in imagination, and we cannot warn the stubborn past. Walking in a wasteland molds your mind into a dump of knowledge. Nothing is organized. Everything is scattered. I saw a canary's corpse floating in tar, smelled death as it wriggled itself into the curving of my eyebrows. I heard a factory and its machinery bent on producing jackets, even though the temperature will never be suited for it. Everything is a mess, and I spend my days hating those who gave into their greed. The only games that have come out recently are all simulations of a past life. Taking out the trash, talking with family, going to school, and kissing the dog. But the dog is dead, and its decaying skin just another mound in the dystopian present. It's killing me living here. I just don't get it. They were told thousands of times, but they just didn't take it seriously. Sure, maybe the mentality was that it wasn't as immediate an issue as war or a pandemic, but it was compounded with those global issues to accelerate into this horrific present. You were right. Can't say much now that the entire world is set ablaze. How's it feel to betray yourself? To betray the home of our mother? Say, were you brought upon this earth just to destroy it? You don't miss what you don't lack, but when you lack it, you turn insane. How does it feel? Bet you didn't think this would happen. Or did you? All the birds were eaten. Those majestic feathers and efficiently shaped beaks, their wings were clipped and their lungs were intoxicated. It wasn't a glorious fall at all. It was chaotic and utterly tragic, all due to the immorality of these selfish Homo sapiens. Welcome to a different kind of hell.
Welcome to the darkness. When shimmers of moonlight pass through mist, leaving an entrancing, eerie emptiness. Clings to you like an unnoticeable leech, never to let go when you plead and breathe, suffocating like a gas attack. But out of the shadow... Sorry, can we redo that? Okay. But out of the corner, there is a desperate shadow, invisible in the night, reaching its hands to the sky. It wants to, I want to, fly to the moon. So 2 feet push off the ground and I'm far in space, looking down at the darkened plains, twinkling with artificial stars. It soothes me more than that ticking solar bomb, serene and tranquil as it wraps me up in a cosmic blanket, till I start to see the end of the universe expanding and twisting, distorting reality like a kaleidoscope of textures. I used to believe that night's embrace can be inviting or hostile. Because with that figure of death always standing over me, both dream and nightmares become horrifying prophecies. Sorry. Every mirror is pristine. Motivate me. Keeping my eyes on the camera lens. The camera lens keeps my eyes straining. Seeing the blemishes suffocate me, blemishing the suffocating clothes. Makes me happy that they're of use, but am I of use? Can it make me happy? Causing those neighboring shutters to close. Those neighboring shutters were already closed. Let me dance upon the reflective surface. Don't let me swim in the reflective surface. Please don't let go. Don't let me drown on screen. Please do drown on screen. Let go of me now. Every mirror is cracked. Can't motivate me. Yeah, I'm taking this. I don't care. Oh, can't really see the screen. Sorry. No, I'm not. Okay. He shuns it out. It doesn't seem to be very effective. He shuns it out. It doesn't seem to be very effective. He shuns it out. It has gained an immunity to move, shun it out. He takes 5 deep breaths. His defense increases. She targets his insecurity. It's very effective. He leaves the room, it loses health. She enters the room, it gains health. He shuns it out. She shuns him out. He loses his composure. She receives effect leech for some time, for 4 turns. He absorbs health. She fainted. He won. Nothing. He has learned a move, stop resisting. Should he replace it with one of his pre-existing moves? And that's a wrap. So, I made a garage poem when I was younger. I will show it to you. You want me to read? How would they see it? You will put it on screen? Okay, alrighty. Forever crazy. Look is not smart. Greasy. Just work. Messy. The beginning of boldness. Porky old bones. Upset stomach. Liberty falls. Rebel. Your rock bottom. You fail to cook. No more nasty tears. Burn the eyes. It pays to stop. Catch up. It's all in my head. Okay. Yeah, you can just take the camera over like that. I'm gonna sit in this chair. Okay. This poem that I'm going to be reading is inspired by a story when I was younger. It's essentially about childhood, immaturity, and how we all need to actually be more childish sometimes. Okay. I am ecstatic, balancing on the rim of that couch. Its beige color warms one foot in front of another while they alternate. Like balancing on its chestnut plank, about to dive into deep waters teeming with teeth. Like running on unstable tiles, cedar pouches in each thieving hand, weighing down, pulling down, about to fall off and drown in darkness. Foot slipped off, Dramatically, he laughs. He makes it, throws hands up. No one cuffs those wrists because we wear smiles. I am 8, so old. He has one that's here. From the jealous cauldron pops steaming bubbles, boiling bubbles, smile inverting, heart contracting. It feels shameful, behavior of 7-year-olds. Infiltrating comforting castle walls, sneaked into piles of haystacks, waiting for the night to creep nearby. Ready to see wide eyes, start this evening off with a yelp, until another frown emerges on an unpolished mask. Thank you for listening. What kind of microphone is this? And this lighting is horrible. I told Seb before, but he didn't do anything about it. Guess he wants it to be like this. Yeah. The mountains sway side to side. Oh, they are so ginormous. The river flows into the ocean. Oh, it is so glamorous. The trees let in beautiful patterns of sunlight. Oh, what's left is so gorgeous. Enormous rats eat carrots on the ground. What is this? This ain't Ratatouille. Righteous prisoners arrest corrupt police officers the way it should be morally. Poisonous leaves grab lost wandering souls. It really stings. Let go. Why are you so jealous, puppy? Leave the wolf alone. It's not courageous if you're on the ground. The underdogs bite worse than barf. Look at the dog's witch, so hideous, but with power to make you her clone. A dangerous, famous person recommends various tremendous shoes. Obviously, spontaneously, it's a fake. They don't need more. Leave it alone. Stand and sharpen a knife. Maggots stare at me and tickle my bloody fist. My eyes are neither squinted nor open, in a state of hypnosis. Even if the protruding rocks cover my ears, I still hear a gush of hatred. He eats away at me, my mind and my soul. I feel a flutter of hope prick my toe, but I can't move an inch. I want to see, but I'm sleeping. Just sleeping now. The maggots raise their heads and swish their tails at it. It eats away at me. My curiosity is not strong enough. Then I feel a shiver. My mind turns into a disease. Someone is shouting, screaming at me. What a rude awakening. Have you no shame? I stand up and go to punch the little boy again. He eats away at me. Now I'm going to return the favor. The nerve. Wake up. Shut up. Run away. I stare at this tarnished boy with no tears and no urgency. He seems to stare at my miraculous arm with no maggots feeding anymore. I hate him. I'm about to end him when he holds something out in his hand. He's scared now, quivering like a little rotten stem against the aggressive gust. He's holding a pristine camera and drops it, smashing and his lens shattering. I see the remnants of a dream abandoned. I don't go through with it, and he starts his act again. But I won't listen. I go back to my hiding spot among the tasty maggots, and I'll stay there even if it'll be the death of me. They eat at me, paralyzing me with a new toxin that the little boy can't counteract. This time, I close my eyes and stop the inhale. Got the camera, mate? Waves are born with a sinister aura, rotting the nutritious dirt. Seeing the rupture intensify from the pores of the trembling dirt, the waves born of a plague emerge with a hunger for space and toil. The naive sun gives warmth to all, a phenomenon the cosmos had insert. Seeing the seedlings peek their heads out from the poles of the moist soil, weeds that hold a secret rise with a thirst for what's not theirs, the quaking dirt. Sunflowers stare with their disc florets, hoping for stability in the dirt. The solar phenomenon smiles warmly, searching for cosmic mistakes to boil. Spirit seedlings sprout with aid. Most have a top like a narrow yurt. Weeds born with a secret like a plague are destroyed by a willful force. The feeling of infatuation invades my mind from roses like a flirt. The black-eyed Susan lookalikes who keep their eyes on the sun are loyal. When gusts of wind blow, the warmth from our parent star keeps us safe in a sweatshirt. The married root and stem are not worth flourishing, won't be threatened with a divorce. Even weeds can offer us tranquility when it steals up the empty soil. Those little hand-like petals trying to escape the uniformity blur. We want to be flowers of love, not some absent-minded foliage to coil. The heartless stem, like how the stray sunflowers strain their eyes to their hurt. The costly sun can't follow a path. He's confused and doesn't know where to set course. Parents were once seedlings, but now the experience doesn't shine quite like foil. Their advice seems like infested weeds created from a selfish source. Those pests are uncontrollable herbicides, causing an immense burst. But blue hydrangeas try to defend themselves, for they wouldn't want to spoil. Can't love something that tears off rose petals and leaves them decomposing on dirt. Try to follow a flower of daylight, and soon your shell will reinforce. The cosmic beam of hope will not disappoint, will commit to violent moil. Seeds who are attacked can only speak out of holes in the dirt with a voice hoarse. The competitive weeds prey on their downfall, wish the sun to do a quick broil. The veinous flytrap acts quickly, digests the pest in its claws without alert. All types of insects are generalized, like all the unique types of oil. The spherical remnants of the hydra have less energy to exert. Admiration will persevere, but still roses are weak as a resource. Leave it to the sunflowers to ask for help from a being that can roil. Pesky bugs on the ground, the leader of the sky will enact punishment per force. Seedlings of a Venus flytrap learn how to disguise as vegetative oil. The parasitic grass takes its wrongful place in the dirt like a menace. The garden is a beautiful culmination of all plants who survive in dirt. The weeds born of a plague emerge with a hunger for space and toil. Spirited seedlings sprout with aid, most have a top like a narrow yurt. Pesky bugs on the ground, the leader of the sky will enact punishment per force. The black-eyed Susan lookalikes who keep their eyes on the sun are loyal. Admiration will persevere, but still roses are weak as a resource. But blue hydrangeas try to defend themselves, for they wouldn't want to spoil. Those pests are uncontrollable herbicides, an unneeded menace. The Venus flytrap acts quickly, digests the pest in its claws without remorse. My mind is a beautiful culmination of all factors that survive in dirt. My bad ideas, born of a plague, emerge with a hunger for space and toil. My growing potential sprouts with aid, has a top like a narrow yurt. Pesky bugs on the ground, outside influences will enact punishment per force. My need for help of others, who keeps its eyes on the sun, is loyal. Admiration will persevere, but still my love is weak as a resource. But my family members try to defend themselves, for they wouldn't want to spoil. Those wicked obstacles are uncontrollable herbicides, an unneeded menace. My defensive side acts quickly, digests the pests in its claws without remorse. This is me. Everything good and bad in my mind has controlled this body. So long. No, I'm not going to be recorded. You want a visual? Fine, I'll give you a visual. Now, can I start reading? D'accord. Burst forth from a singularity, the universe was born with time as its mother. The planet of sanctuary we know is one infested with complex minds. The duality of possible versions of this world are significant, same as life and death. Humans with the power of gods could have made this place into an Arcadian blessing. The absence of destructive advancements have a rustic charm of sincerity. Takes us to embrace the prism in the sky with its stability in a sequoia trunk. Smiles are genuine without a hint of fear or worry. Wait till light scans in the night, a silver spirit peering down on shimmering snow, can soothe the rage from a starving beast. But majestic landscapes are figments of dreams, where reality is more like a night terror. Or the earth could be a prison of fate, where everyone is doomed to a reduced lifespan. Agony and suffering caused by betrayal and greed from wars led by sadistic monsters. The lands would wither from the toxic blood of corpses trapping the dirt. No one is joyous. The start marked the end of a tragic, selfish species. But conflict can still exist on a planet that beams with prosperity and wealth. Each place urbanized, green cities of steel run on digitized efficiency. A new golden age blooms with impossible dreams. A healthy utopia nurtured by the intellectual population. Marco at the global hub where all cultural arts coexist, where animals and artificial intelligence have an abundance of security. That person is embraced by the rules of an open-minded construct, while ambitious fingers point towards the nearest exoplanet. Still, something is missing, like the 13th floor of that hotel. Listen to the silence. World devoid of spirit. We aren't living, just dying, slowly. What will you see? An emptiness, an emotionless void? Will it be any different? The soulless inhabitants eat, drink, sleep, but where's the breath? The mystical world can't serve the spectators. The dreadful world can't satisfy the authoritarian's competitiveness. A thriving earth won't save the addicted netizens. Haunted eyes have no passion, mindless and stuck in the cycle of again. Don't let it feed on your brilliance. Don't forget, you work for me. Listen, feel the energy of twisting tongues. The movement of lips creates words so elegant they caress the innards of the ear. Poetry! It is the nourishment for imaginative minds, raw impulses that streak the paper with emotion. It's beautiful, horrid. Statements that state a moment. Can you feel it? You're in your grandmother's house, at the chaotic zoo, above the clouds that mask the radiant glow of her savior. It brings a tear to a starving eye, and red patches on furious fists. Do not fear, for the nauseous feeling of shock will fade until transparent. 'Twas the escapade of looking inside out and confronting the conscious colors. The words want to calm you and foster unconditional love, to defend the childish innocence, for that is the beauty of poetic potential. It is a challenge for all, a support when you fall, a linguistic lesson hosted by sharp eyes. What a shame that the pure form slowly dies. To rebel against the unjust and fight with fire. The situation we curse ourselves as looking dire. So we plead in our stories and our tragic tales to give in and turn around, to fly with the righteous gales. We are a collective, a social species in need of reflection. So quit that stalling and push 3 fingers in quick motion. Because when you start to realize, you start to ask the question, why poetry? Why not? Why complicate? Why write? Why question? Why wait? Why buy? Sigh? Lie? Cry? Die? Why anything? I took part of the National Great Poetry Reading Day, felt the emotion of each speaker, the intention of intelligence poets. Intelligent. It had significance, meaning for each member, so I decided to have our own. And I saw personality in each reading, a reason to foster humor, to expose one's vulnerability, to revel in a literary freedom. Some say poetry is losing its fame, but it is omnipresent, this waltz of words. In the soulful songs, the descriptive stories, and effortful enigmatic essays, its legacy is continued to cultivate a brood of reactionary faces. This is the purpose, the poetic manifestation of this personal subconscious. We had the reinventions of an emotional chapbook, the difficult discussions recorded in dense rhymes, the eligible enough extras. But what does it mean to poetry? To pull a tree? Uprooting something, to discover the world in a newfound perspective, to glamorize nature or to slander humanity, to try a pool, to try something new, to rearrange letters and characters into magnificent visualizations, to pull in hopes of satisfaction, to diagnose a sick world. Is it a pool of trees? Can you see the roots drinking the water so bland they look like neurons, brain signals? To write is to nourish the brain. The scarlet of the wood or the blonde of autumn leaves, they color the ripples of that pool. The mind is a collage of emotions that mix and mesh, and how better than to record it with the black of pen ink. Know that wherever this takes you, whatever journey you're on, there is never escaping the brilliance of poetry.
Loving you hurts like a cactus thorn in the heart, cutting it into a bloody mess, head over heels for your touch. For what? My mind always distracted when I see your face, echoing the desire to hear your radiant laugh. The thought that I can't have you physically pains me. I would rather stay in delusion, where I could envision a future where we could enjoy each other's company, have a picnic under a joyful sun, and talk under a tranquil sky. Oh, what I'd give just to be next to you a little more. Loving you is a full-time job, always having to dress up, then work overtime to gain the courage just to muster a look. I hate that I love you. For all it's worth, I want you to disappear, and for me to skin apart my yearning, just to have a moment of peace, to breathe a little more calmly. I don't know what to do with these butterflies in my stomach. It's making me so nauseous and red. To be or not to be, that is not the question. Whether these arrows in my back will ever be removed is. Please reject me, 'cause I don't think I could ever handle loving you forever.